Josh Carter, whose youngest son was diagnosed with a rare chronic disorder as an infant, speaks on his grandparents' mission to lift up family caregivers for a powerful new documentary project. Rosalynn Carter and her family's vast experiences with caregiving are being put on display as part of a broader public service campaign helmed by Bradley Cooper and DC-based public broadcasting station WITA. A new documentary short, which kicks off an ongoing series on the impact of caregiving, premieres on Monday, October 7, delving into the former First Lady's mission to better support caregivers and how her dedication to the topic trickled down to younger generations of Carters. Below, People shares a first look at the clip. Josh Carter, the grandson of Jimmy and Rosalynn Carter by way of their son Jeff, is a repeat family caregiver. In Caregiving, Generations, one chapter of a larger caregiving documentary that will premiere on PBS next year. He talks about his first experience caring for a loved one, before he had fully processed Rosalynn's tireless work in raising awareness on the issue. My mom's mother, Dorothy Davis, was a big part of our life. She was as involved as you would hope a grandma would be. But when I was about to start 9th grade, she had her stroke, Josh says in the video. Caregiving became a full-time responsibility for the whole family. The toll it took on our family was real. He continues, taking care of a loved one, it's something that we do out of love. It's something we could do that we do out of need and necessity. But it is hard, and it's lonely, and the resources just aren't there. After learning the importance of family caregiving firsthand through his experience with Davis, Josh was then ready to step up when his youngest son, Jonathan, was diagnosed with a rare and chronic intestinal disorder as an infant. Now I have a 6th grader, Charlie, and I have a kindergartner, Jonathan. When Jonathan was 3 months old, we were changing his diaper, and instead of what you'd normally expect for a diaper, we saw blood, Josh explains in the film. Charlie was 6, and we tried very hard to make sure Charlie knew that he was a loved member of the family. But every single day was consumed around Jonathan and consumed around Jonathan's care. Charlie's going through what I went through and what my grandmother went through. Learning that caregiving is a necessary part of a loving family, he says. Josh notes in the film that he didn't recognize the significance of Rosalynn's activism in the caregiving space until I was able to step away from the crisis at my own house. He learned that when Jimmy's political career in Georgia was on the rise, Rosalynn got to know many families who were struggling to keep up with the demands of caregiving and feeling isolated in the process. Rosa knew exactly what that household looked like, and she knew that there were things that the government could do to help people that are in such dire needs. When my grandfather won the race, then she sought out to change things for the better for family caregivers, he says. One of the main focuses of my grandmother's life was to find people that were invisible and make them visible. Rosalynn, who founded the Rosalynn Carter Institute for Caregivers in 1987, famously testified before Senate decades later that there are only 4 kinds of people in the world: those who have been caregivers, those who currently are caregivers, those who will be caregivers, and those who will need caregiving. That's all of us. Caregiving. Generations was tapped to premiere at the United Nations International Day of Older Persons celebration on October 7, along with a teaser trailer of WITA's larger caregiving project, which features Bradley Cooper talking about his personal attachment to the subject. I didn't even think about caregiving until my father was diagnosed with cancer, Cooper says in the video, seen below. My dad was somebody who I idolized. I used to dress up like him when I was a kid in kindergarten and get made fun of because I wanted to wear a suit and tie. And then to go from that to giving him a bath is quite a traumatic thing. The UN screening of the clips launches the national engagement campaign surrounding the caregiving documentary and fittingly aligns with this year's UNIDOP theme, Aging with Dignity, the importance of strengthening care and support systems for older persons worldwide. PBS flagship TC station, WITA, started Well-Beings, a multi-year public health project to shed light on critical health issues in America. The Caregiving documentary is the next feature film in the Well-Being series and will premiere in full as a 2-hour primetime special in spring 2025. Caregiving is presented by WITA and executive produced by Lee Pictures and WITA in association with ARC Media.